You don't
Go ahead.
you don't mind if I eat, right?
No,
I
no,
have
you're good. You're
okay, yeah.
good.
I
So,
gotta get a lot of calories in.
no worries, no worries, man. Well, no worries. We'll get you in between bites. And
Perfect.
right now, we are welcoming gentleman Barbarian Bruss Hamilton to PWE Report, and we're going to be talking about his career so far. Pretty new in the business, but he's been making an impact. You've seen him at ZOWA, Iron Spirit Pro, Chicago Style Wrestling, AAW Pro, among other promotions. And he's been a competitive strongman as well in his prior career. And right now, you can check him out. CSW is Bad Friday. That's going to be September 13th. And October 18th will be the return of AAW to the Berwyn Eagles Club. And that's going to be also a very special show. And so we welcome you, Bruss. How are you doing? Welcome on PWE.
Oh, I'm doing really good, man. Excited to be here. Excited to talk. Let the world know who I am a little bit. No, I really appreciate the opportunity to get on here with you.
No, no problem. It's my pleasure. And since we've seen you, develop in the independent wrestling, it's been awesome. You've really been making a name for yourself in such a short time. So talk about professional wrestling. Has it changed your life for the better?
Oh, absolutely. Just on a personal note, before professional wrestling, this is something I shared with my classmates at Black and Brave when I was training there with my class. Was I'm actually kind of more of a low self-esteem kind of individual, highly insecure, don't like to put myself out there too much. And the world of pro wrestling, when I got to the school, my classmates, everyone just kind of just embraced me, open arms. I got to be 100% who I am, no faking, no politicking, no kind of crazy stuff. It was just kind of like, hey, here I am. Everyone was like, wow, this is a really cool guy. Just on a personal, the entire pro wrestling world has done that for me. Like as I progress this year, everyone I've met has been like that with me, and it's really special to me, and it's helped me be a better version of myself.
I'm glad to hear it. And Black and Brave Academy, of course, it's Seth Rollins, Merrick Brave that have been part of the academy. So talk about the prestige of that school, and why did you decide to go there?
Well, so I looked up that school a couple years ago. Basically, I just Googled pro. I told you in our
Right.
private conversations, I don't really know anything about pro wrestling, right? I wasn't really a part of it. And so I kind of just Googled pro wrestling schools when we kind of got the idea, my wife and I, about me trying this out. And um, that school popped up. There was a school in Chicago that popped up, but it was none of the ones that, like, it wasn't like freelance. It wasn't Chicago style wrestling. It was, I don't even remember the name and I can't
Mhm.
find it again. And I'm in Indiana. There were no schools in Indiana when I Googled it. So here I was, basically a school 5 hours away from where I live in Davenport, Iowa there. And they had housing, and the way their presentation and their website and how they structured and the way they explained how they do things when I was emailing back and forth with Merrick Brave about signing up, just really just something in my gut said, hey, you're going there.
Mhm.
I honestly thought that Seth Rollins was a marketing ploy and that he was just kind of like they captured photos every once in a while of him in there. So I didn't think that I was actually going to get coached by Seth Rollins, but lo and
Right.
behold, he does involve himself heavily. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That is great, man. And then they were also part of AAW Pro, where you got to make your debut recently. So talk about that connection.
Yep, that one's a really special one to me because obviously because they were trained by Danny Daniels, that's Grandpa, right? Their
Mhm.
dad, Danny's grandpa, and they being able to be household names for AAW before back in their day before they became coaches and Seth Ring of Honor and WWE and all that. Um, them having that and then knowing what that promotion means to them, what that means to that school, and then now being able to be a part of it myself, especially so early on, pretty special to me, pretty important.
Yes, I can only imagine. And when you talk about professional wrestling, you were competing as a strongman. You said you didn't know much outside of it. Outside, basically from what you watched when you were younger. But You didn't,
Yeah.
from being an outside, you didn't know as much, right,
Yeah. So,
about what was going on.
when I was a kid, I didn't even know about WCW. Like
Mhm.
I knew WW at the time, WWF, right?
Right.
So I grew up with the Attitude Era, witnessed the change to WWE, and then I kind of just grew out of it, got different interests, life took a different direction, and then became an adult, got into strongman, and then you know what I felt like a natural transition. What am I going to do with my body now that I'm done with strongman?
Right.
And yeah.
And so, how do you feel you discovered it as a passion?
Well, I'll tell you, Black and Brave.
Mhm.
Um, the students there, they graduate students stay in town. They stay involved with the school. I'll actually be there this week to help out with the new class that starts tomorrow.
Mhm.
And like it feels like a family there. And everyone that not everyone, but most people that graduate from Black and Brave, they go to SCW Pro. And everyone that wrestles there know each other. They kind of came up together, and like almost everybody that wrestles there has had a hand in my development. And so I think I just kind of veered away. What was the original question? Make sure I bring that back.
No, just discovering professional wrestling as a passion for you.
Oh yeah, just
Yeah.
that environment that Black and Brave provided. And then being surrounded by people that had that passion, and then realizing that pro wrestling is more than just moves. It's more than just spots. There's
Mhm.
so much more acting, psychology, storytelling, and that's a heavy emphasis that Black and Brave puts in their
Yeah.
training. And so when that became like the highlight of what I was learning about pro wrestling, I fell in love with it immediately. And now that's all I care. That's really all I care about.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so when did you decide that you were done competing as a strongman? Was that kind of like a tenure that was ending for you?
So I had set a goal to become the World Strength Games champion in 2023. And essentially, that was the main contest for me to want to win. And because it's a world title, it's a world championship for my weight class in the under 265 pounds. And when I won it, it was just it just felt like I knew that when I would win that, I was going to kind of feel like, hey, it's time to move on. I've been Indiana's strongest man. I've been South Carolina's strongest man, multiple time national competitor in the open weight class in the under 265 weight class. So I had a really good time there. Unfortunately, when you're married and you have 6 kids and you both work full-time jobs and there's no money coming in from strongman at all,
Right.
it's like, hey, I'm never going to be one of those guys like on ESPN or, anything like that. So I decided to, while I still have this physical ability to figure out another way to make money, because, I told you professional wrestling was a business decision for me,
Right.
and that turned into a passion.
Definitely. And the talk about the recent addition to the Bravo family. It's who you are. You're going to be part of the Bravo family moving forward. This is an elite stable in AAW. They've won many championships. They've kind of crushed the dreams of the fellow AAW wrestlers, as we've seen in the past. So talk about having your moment there with them.
Well, Johnny Bravo, he came to me, said, hey, we might have lost our way a little bit. And I think it takes you to get us back on track. We need another heavy hitter. And obviously Hartenbauer wasn't cutting it. So they brought in the real hammer, that what he couldn't be. So that's what I am now. And I'm there to I had that great debut against, I can't even remember that weakling's name. I took him out in 16 seconds. I'm pretty sure that's a promotional record, so I'm just there to bring all those titles back to the Bravo family. I'm there to keep us there at the top.
Definitely. As you said, you're a businessman first, and so it makes sense you're aligning with the Bravo family.
That's right.
At CSW, you had this match with Aaron Arsenal. You competed as a tag team. And when you're in this tag team against Nathan Nile, KJ Carter, two young, two hungry guys, two very quick guys, Talk about the pairing with you and the hipster Hunk. What did you learn from him during that time?
Well, I know Aaron Arsenal, you know, you can see it in the way he wrestles. He's a master technician. Can
Yeah.
put you in any kind of hold he wants to put you in and everything like that. And that's something that I'm missing. You know, I'm all brawn. I'm there to throw you around, slam you into the ground, and get that match done as quick as I can. And so I knew, and he knew it too, that if we could pair together, you know, we're there to take over CSW. That's plain and simple. There's nothing else that's going to happen. Him and I together at CSW means it's over for any other tag team in that promotion.
Yeah, we can't wait to see you guys hopefully come back there September.
That's right.
What's in store. And you've also had the matches with Shane Boucher at Iron Spirit Pro. Like, how much fun is that for you to be in there with Shane Boucher of the Hate Keepers, you know, a Black and Brave Academy guy, and gain that crowd, behind you.
Yeah, Shane is, one of the guys I talked about that helped me get a passion for the business. He has a lot of passion for the business, and that match, that was actually the first match I ever had. And
Right.
to be against like one of my mentors was a pretty big deal. And I was this close. I almost had him, but boy, those kicks started to really wear me down, and I kind of just, when you're new.
Yes. And then how was that experience in front of a live crowd?
It was exhilarating. It was exhilarating. First time, in strongman, I performed in front of crowds before, but it was never anything like this. Pro wrestling's a whole different beast for sure.
Definitely. And then did you feel like you were able to gain momentum with the crowd as the match wore on?
I did. Yeah, I really feel like I did. They had, and I hear that often, is that often where I debut, they've never seen anyone like me in these areas. So it's like a lot of times people get hyped up when they see me start throwing somebody around.
Yes. I mean, when you're in the ring and you're connected to that crowd, just talk about, how that experience must be like for you. Finally, you're able to, go in there and really connect with them.
Well, it's kind of going back to the same thing I said about with my classmates and everything at Black and Brave, about being able to be 100% who I am and accept it, where regardless of whether that's a cheer or a boo,
Right.
getting some sort of reaction from them and being able to provide that level of entertainment and action for them to just kind of forget where they are and dive into and really give them what they pay to see. It's powerful, man. It is definitely it's definitely something I've never experienced before.
That's awesome. And I'm sure it's addicting as well at this
Oh,
point.
yeah, everyone says it, right? And it is. It's a lot of fun because you know when you got them.
Yes, for sure. And then talk about, what you're looking to do in your career moving forward. Like how many years you feel like you're going to get into the business, and is there an expectancy of what you want to do?
My expectation is to join the Fed, right? Get signed, get money.
Okay.
And longevity. My style of wrestling, the kind of move set that I've been cultivating and bringing together. Like I said, we're very early on in my career, so that's always going to develop more. But what I've structured right now, with my strength levels that I know that I can maintain guaranteed for at least another 15 years, there's really no end to how long I can maintain this style of wrestling as long as I stay healthy and injury free.
Definitely. And who are some people you like to mix it up with? I mean, we got to see some of the heavy guys at the tag team division this past AAW event. How did you feel about Shaft and Russ Jones?
Oh, well, I mean, to display my ignorance, I don't know anything about them.
Right.
They look like two big, strong guys, but they don't look like two former world champions in a strength contest. So they're okay, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to get your opinion.
Yeah. I mean, they look good. Congratulations to them for winning those tag titles, but those are definitely a set of titles that we're going to get back into the Bravo family. So they're not going to hold on to them for too long.
Definitely. And then how is it like work with Johnny Bravo? Just the bit of a time that you've had to work with him, Johnny Bravo, and the experience he brings.
I personally think Johnny Bravo is a genius, a mastermind, just someone who is almost always 10 steps ahead. I mean, that's why he brought me in. Nobody ever would have guessed that he would have been willing to bring in a new member and cut out someone like Hartenbauer. But he saw what was coming before it came, and he fixed it before it happened. And now we're going to be right back on the right track again. So what do I think about Johnny Bravo? It's just nothing but respect.
Yes, I have to imagine at this point that he's that sees the long game, the bigger picture.
That's right.
So,
Mm-hmm. He knows how to get it back to all. He knows how to get all those titles back to us. That's right.
Yeah, if you could equate it with someone else in your life that had helped you gain success, who would it be?
That is difficult. That is difficult. He is definitely someone. There was I'll take it back to the strongman days. There was when I first started getting into strongman back in 2017, I met a man named Jess Reeves, who was at the time the third world's strongest man under 231 pounds. And I would probably compare them, because just like when I was beginning my strongman journey there, Jess Reeves kind of took me under his wing and kind of taught me more about what it was to not just go into the gym and lift, but what it was to actually train.
Right.
And then that's what Johnny Bravo has done for me in pro wrestling. Is like, I got my basic education, my foundational training from Black and Brave, which is, of course, is top tier, which is why he's willing to take me on so young in the career. And that he's now taking me and kind of guiding me through that next step, that next stage in pro wrestling that really only he can do.
Definitely. We've seen a lot of people make it under his tutelage, so
right
to see. And talk about some of the social media videos you have where you're doing your lifts, your exercises and stuff, and you show it the gentleman way, and then you show a more unconventional way, the Barbarian way.
Oh yeah. So which one of those are you thinking about the most there?
I was thinking about the one where you were taking apart the frying pan. You were bending the frying pan.
Rolling up a frying
rolling
pan.
It up,
Yeah. So, it was just like, everyone understands how to train grip, right? Make your hands strong. But I like to show the Barbarian way, which is more of how it translates into real life. What's going to happen? Okay, great. You can see me hold a heavy weight in my hand and go, wow, he's strong. Right. But you watch me roll up a metal frying pan, and what's going to happen when I grab your neck? Now you know what's really coming your way.
Actually, you were lifting the car on your shoulders. You were doing a shoulder press.
Oh, the car squat. Yeah.
Squat.
So I was showing the gentleman squat when I hit a 605 squat at Black and Brave, actually, because their physical training is fantastic as well. They have a good mind for how to get people in shape the right way. And so I showed that squat there, and then it's like, and now, everyone knows what a barbell squat looks like. Well, let me show you what it really means. It means I can get into a car door and I can stand up and lift half that car off the ground. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really intense. And, talk about what's also coming up in the future. I know you said SCW has an anniversary event coming up, and
yeah, this weekend, SCW Pro, we have their anniversary show. It's they're 21 years old now. That's a long time running a promotion, a great promotion with high quality wrestling. Every time they put on a show, I've got a feud there with Primetime or Disfigured, whatever he wants to call himself, James Thomas, with his security guard Brandon. 2-on-1 handicap match. I've been whooping them back and forth for months on end. I'm just going to go ahead and get it done again, so we can move on and say happy anniversary.
Definitely. Should be an exciting one as well. And if there's any other events you'd like to plug, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Well, like you said, CSW, next week, September 13th. That's going to, tons of great matches on that one yet. He hasn't announced mine yet, because Aaron Arsenal actually is not going to be there this time. So I'm going to carry the weight of our team on my own. And You know, I haven't announced what match I'm in yet, but it really doesn't matter. Whatever match that they're going to put me in, I'm going to go ahead and win it, and then Aaron can come back and know that we're on the up.
Definitely, definitely. And AAW, of course, on the 18th. It'll be exciting to see what's next with the Bravo family and going against whoever it is, either the AAW World Champion, the Tag Team Champions, Heritage Champion.
It doesn't matter. Feed them to me, and let's go ahead and get these wins stacking up.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate you, Bruss, being on PWE Report. If you'd like to go ahead and shout out, you know, where what your social media is, go ahead.
Oh yeah, you know, you can find me on Facebook under Bruss Hamilton, Instagram and TikTok and X is basically all Bruss Hamilton Pro. Check it out. I post on everything pretty actively, and give me a follow. You know, I'm the next big thing coming into the Midwest wrestling area, and it's nothing but up from here.
Definitely. What is the most common thing people ask you when they see you for the first time?
How much do I eat?
Mm-hmm. You can answer that.
Yeah, yeah, I can give you a full breakdown. I'm doing it right now. You know, I've got just about almost 1.5 pounds of cut up diced chicken breast right here, and
Nice.
1 pound of mashed sweet potatoes here, and basically that's just one meal to kind of end the day. To get me, I eat 300 grams of protein a day. I try to keep my fats under 100 to 120, but preferably under 100, and then my carbs go from 500 to 600 a day, and that usually brings you up to in the low 4,000s calories a day.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a lot of eating that you have.
A lot of eating. It's a job in and of itself. Yeah, yes, sir.
Definitely. And I appreciate you again, once again, being on PWE Report, and we'll see you out there at CSW Bad Friday. Or
yes, sir.
It'll be Friday the 13th, rather.
Yeah. Thanks again for having me.
All right. Take care, Bruss.
Yeah, you too.
And before I let you go, could you do a quick shout out for me for PWE?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
make sure. Anything specific you want me to say, or just give the shout out?
Oh, you can just say, hey, you know, if you want to say your name and just say, hey, you're watching PWE Pro Wrestling Enforcer.
All right.
That's cool. I'm just going to end this. I'm just going to end this one and start a new one.
Okay.